key question is, how successful were you in delivering your 2018 New Year's resolutions? And is there any particular reason why? So did you write them down? Did you put some sort of time frame on them in terms of when they're going to be delivered by? Did you share them with anybody? Did you put any milestones in place in terms of what you have to achieve by when in order to make those resolutions happen? Funny where you stand now and think about those New Year's resolutions. Where was your business in January 2018 and where's your business now? The question as a business owner that you have to ask is, can you afford the time, the money and the resource to select any one of the roads to get there? Consistently, more than 70% of businesses are more profitable if they have a business plan. They're twice more successful achieving their goals as companies that do not have a business plan, and they grow at least 30% faster. Now, if you take a dream and you put a time frame to it and you write it down, you end up with a goal. If you put a step-by-step process in place in order to achieve that goal, you have a plan. And inevitably, if you take action on the plan, you will have success. But the environment in which you work is changing all the time. What's your plan to work within that ever-changing environment? So ultimately, why do you need a business plan? Well, direction, so you know exactly where you're going. It will bring focus to not only yourself, but if you have employees, to your employees. Alignment. Imagine all the shareholders in the business, all the owners in the business pointing in the same direction with the same level of focus to achieve the same goal. Helps you identify your growth drivers. And growth drivers is really about what your priorities are. So whenever that inevitable opportunity comes along or some interference comes along, does that change your growth driver? Does it change your priority? It assigns responsibility and accountability ultimately. It sets out milestones for you to be able to achieve so you can gauge and measure your performance along the road. Informed decision making. If you've got a business plan, you have a structure around in which you can make an informed business decision about your future and about the direction in which you wish to go. And it gets commitment. It gets commitment not only from yourself to the plan, the minute you write it down, but also gets commitment from the rest of the people in your organization and certainly from other shareholders. And inevitably, if you're a single operator, there even is a commitment from your family to understand in terms of where you're going and what you're going to achieve. In real, simple terms, what is a business plan? You want to go from point A to point B. What is point B? And what does your roadmap look like between point A and point B? What are the roadblocks that you expect to happen? What will you do if you hit that roadblock? What are some of the challenges along the way? How many hills have you got to go up? How many times will you pick up speed going downhill? How many gorges and rivers do you have to cross? So what does your roadmap inevitably look like? What do you need to change if you do need to change? What resources do you require in order to make that plan happen? And ultimately, and the critical element on that, how do you track performance? Remember, how did you track your 2018 New Year's resolutions? So how are you tracking your business performance? So we set on 90 days, and real simple from point A to point B. What does it look like at the end of March? What does your business look like? What are the key things that will deliver by the end of March 2019? How are you going to measure that? What resources do you need to put against that? What is it that you need to do in order to be able to achieve what you wish to do? What different formats of a business plan are there? Now, this is my favorite, the back of a napkin. Do you know how many of these I've seen? Inevitably designed with peanuts and beer in a bar late at night, and suddenly I come across a great business idea. And I had a business owner that did pull out his napkin. And he did manage to articulate pretty well what his vision was, what he wanted to achieve with his business, but no idea how he was going to get there. It was a start. Now, you can smile at a napkin. If you don't have a napkin, what do you have? Or do you actually have anything? Because I'd rather have a napkin than nothing.
one of the things that I've put into place over many, many years is I have a notepad and pen next to the bed.
Yeah.
Because if it's in there and it's now on there, it doesn't get forgotten about.
Yeah.
The difficulty, of course, with that, bringing fresh ideas is you've then got to revisit the plan and go, okay, well that's great, but how does that now slot in and what needs to move or come out in order to actually accommodate a new idea?
Yeah. The key thing is what's the content? And the content is all in the business owner's head. And the key is getting it out your head and onto a piece of paper. Because as long as it's in your head, you're not implementing it because you're not thinking about it all day long. Get it out, get it on a piece of paper in whatever format.
Do you go quite specific? So we're a 5-person team and say this person is going to take on these roles and do these jobs? Or do you keep it quite generic and so a technician A is going to do that job?
Generally, that's the deliverable that we need, and we need 3 people in terms of resource to be able to deliver that. When you break that down into maybe that individual's plan or the 90-day plan, is you start allocating resources.
It's the role. It's not the person, and it's too easy to get so much weighted on that person that if that person leaves, you're suddenly in a socking great hole. You can't do it like that. You can't have one person because business continuity, which is what we do a lot of, fails on a person. It has to be a process, not a person.
Draw the organigram, the structure of your organization, what it'll look like in 5 years' time. Lay out the roles. It might not be in 5 years' time exactly 100% correct, but put them there. If you can't do it in 5 years, do it in a year, do it in 2 years, do it in 3 years. Put a stake in the ground, say, that's what my structure, that's what my business is going to look like to be able to deliver what I wish to deliver. I'm going to have a £10 million business and I need 15 staff. That's how I'm going to put it into my business. And put your external resources in there as well, because the moment you may have an external HR person. When I'm 10 million, I'll have my own HR person. Just put an HR role there. So draw that organigram, then populate it. So if you're the single business owner, you're doing every single role. Now think 3 months' time is which role am I now going to allocate out? Which role am I going to employ first? There's your business plan.